No, I know I had the 12th pick in each round. I know, and it was the most point total in league history. I know, and one of the greatest comebacks ever in league history. I know it's embarrassing. I will let them know. I know. I will let them know. I know. You're right. It is the most embarrassing thing I have ever seen. You're totally right. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. Let's get started with our Week 4 review and power rankings. We'll start by saying that this Week 4 had the two highest scores ever in league history by Felcher and Sons and Jay Gordon Rehab Chamber. It always seems to happen this way where one team, which I thought it was going to be myself, was going to have to lose to the only other team in the league that put up a better score than they did. But this wasn't just a good score. These were they were the two highest scores ever in league history, and it was a shame that Jay Gordon Rehab Chamber had to experience this. I thought I was going to have to experience it, but it was an emotional roller coaster, and I'm glad I ended out on the positive side. Going into that, the top performer award is Felcher and Sons for that reason. He had an unbelievable week. Everybody seemed to come up big, from the guys we just traded for to the guys he picked up off of waiver wire. It was an unbelievable week, and it was very, very necessary with how his division is performing right now. The Flush the Toilet Twice award goes to Sigma 05. Now, I can't say enough about how irritating it is to not have somebody start their whole roster, and it was not going to matter. He would have lost anyways, but still, it is something where, you go out in week 2 and you pick up a huge win and you kind of shut it down from there. I don't know what else to say. It seems like he's going to play the red carpet for the rest of the year. So the Top Choice Award goes to Felcher and Sons for the trade to get Jamal Charles and Steve Smith, which both were the two biggest pieces, probably aside from Matt Asiata, to help him take down this important Week 4 victory. And hopefully there are pieces for his team in the rest of the upcoming year. The My Condolences Award goes to Jay Gordon Rehab Chamber for many of the reasons that I've already stated. I can't stress enough that, it is important to get a lot of points whenever you can. The win is always more important. He wasn't able to do that. All things looked like he could have started celebrating his victory, and the rug kind of got pulled out from under him. I feel bad on one side because I know, how he probably felt, but at the same time, I don't feel bad because I need that victory. All right, so let's go into our power rankings for this Week 4. At number 1, new number 1, is Felcher and Sons. Now, this is based off of not the record, but based off of the overall point total that he currently has is overwhelmingly the most in the league. He is in a good position right now. It was a necessary win. He's 2-2, and this is going to be important going forward in the division he has because everybody's going to be getting wins in that division. And the point total, I think, could be one of the deciding factors when it comes to the end of the year. At number 2, another consistent performer again for, it's been, I think, like 3 or 4 years in a row, A-Will's boys. Always seems to come up with a solid point total outside of his loss to Sigma in week 2. He is now 3-1, sitting in good position in his division. He was able to come out with a good score on a week where he had Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas sitting on his bench. So he is in good position right now. At number 3, Breeze on ball. While they lost last week, they are still in a good position, 2-2, have a solid point total. They are still going to be a formidable team going forward, and I think they have a lot of wins ahead of them. At number 4, another team from the same division, the Trash Dash. The Trash Dash currently leads the division. I know he had a lot of buys this week, which was part of the reason he was able to win, or part of the reason why he had such a low score, but he was still able to win because he was playing Sigma. It's going to be interesting going forward to see how this plays out. I think there are a lot of good teams in the division, and I think a few trades or a few waiver wire pickups could be the deciding factor with this division. And that leads to the number 5 seed, who, again, is another great team in the division, who is the Giant Bag of Dicks. They are finally starting to realize their potential, I think, starting to put up good point totals, and they also are 2-2. Any of these teams, if they were in other divisions, along with Felcher and Sons, could be running away with that division or in a good position to make the playoffs. At number 6, Jay Gordon Rehab Chamber. I think right now he has to be unhappy with the fact that he did lose this game, but happy with the fact that this point total just really was needed and is going to help him going forward. I think that he is finding a few stars on his team in Le'Veon Bell and Jimmy Graham, and hoping that they can continue to carry his team going forward and hopefully make it back to the playoffs to defend his title. At number 7, Check Yourself. Able to put up a good victory this week against Breeze on ball. I, for one, thought that this was going to go the other way. This was impressive. He's starting to make me feel like I can eat my words a little bit. For a couple weeks ago, thinking that Adrian Peterson was going to be just the absolute downfall of his team. He is picking up much needed victories while still trying to maneuver some things around to find out how he's going to make his team get forward to pass the AWOLS boys going forward in the division. And I think that it's going to be a tough feat, but it could possibly happen. Number 8, after his rough start and having to, look at a few different options, Pack Daddy is now put up a great point total this past week. He had it all come together. He looks like he has some good pieces that could potentially help push him up through that division. He still has a few areas of weakness, but he is sitting at 2-2, which is by record tied for the division leader right now. He's going to have to up his point total a little bit, but he definitely improved it this week. At number 9, while he is 1-3, the Top Turds still have a very good point total, still one of the better point totals in the league. I know that this past week wasn't the best showing for him, but he still right now has, if not the best quarterback in football, one of the best fantasy football quarterbacks in Andrew Luck, which when you have a fantastic fantasy football quarterback, we all know that can be something that trumps some other areas of weakness on your team. So he's somebody who, as long as he has Andrew Luck there, he's not somebody to take lightly. At number 10, Brolo Canyado. This is tough because he was on a bye this week with a few of his top players, so it kind of was, going to lose based on some of the situations that he had, but I don't know if he could have won anyways because Pac Daddy really put up a really good score this week. He has a very well-rounded team. I don't know if there are any players that stand out as stars. Maybe he can have some that will come out the next few weeks. Right now, I think he has a very good overall team, and we'll look forward to seeing what the future holds in the upcoming weeks. At number 11, Fildo Industries. Fildo Industries, he had a rough week this past week, to say the least. A very rough week, and Tom Brady is now starting to look like that this isn't just a mirage. This might actually be who he is. I know he's now trying to trade him in a big trade with a giant bag of dicks, and we'll see what happens. This is going to be an interesting switch, but he does have the wide receiver still there. He's going to just need a little bit of help in other positions. At number 12, and this is without a doubt the easiest ranking, which is Sigma 05. It is not even really worth going over. It's, again, low scores, poor choices, picking up players off the waiver wire, not starting them, leaving spots open. You go out and beat a good team, which, nobody expected. You can kind of build off of that, and he decided not to. So there's not much else you can say, and hopefully he doesn't stay in the 12th spot for the rest of the year and decides to pick it back up, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. So that will do it for our Week 12 video review. Check back next week for our Week 5 video review.
Check it, I grew up a fucking screw up. Got introduced to the game, got an ounce and fucking blew up. Chopping rocks overnight. The nigga Biggie Smalls trying to turn into the Black Frank White. We had to go dreads to change our description. 2 cops is on the milk box missing. Show they told us, they got stepped on. A fist full of bullets, a chest full of Teflon. Run from the police, picture that. Nigga, I'm too fat. I fuck around and catch an asthma attack. That's why I bust back. It don't faze me. When he drop, take his Glock and I'm swayzing.